is that? Dude, what is that?
Whoa! What was that? Another dinosaur?
What is that?
That one's way bigger.
Oh, damn! What the
A group of underwater researchers came across the wreckage of a big ship in the ocean. The Nazi battleship Bismarck is what they actually found, and it had been laying there since 1941. And even though they just gave us a few clips and a few seconds from whatever they discovered there, it does not sit right with me knowing that there is a 50,000-ton warship sitting at the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean. Thousands of sailors resting in that majestic war machine. And this is what they showed? What was it they were hiding? What do you think? Before moving any further, like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon so you can keep watching our amazing content. Terrifying item on our list is some human skeletons discovered deep within Lake Mead that were captured by a camera sent to film the lake floor. Who on earth would have thought to find a group of skeletons in a lake with murky water? One in a cage and two others on chairs? The skeletons were quite well preserved, but had fungus and various growths on them. No one could tell how they got there, or were they fake or real, because no investigations have been done ever. Looking like a tornado, the Ice Finger of Doom is actually an underwater icicle traveling down to the ocean's surface. When it reaches the bottom, it freezes everything it touches. So in short, it is a finger of ice, which forms each and every form of life as soon as it touches them. I bet it initiates fear underwater as soon as you say its name. We should never forget that despite our belief that we have overcome nature, these will always be things out there that can take us down from time to time. And not just astonish us, but they can kill us too if we're not careful. While diving deep into the ocean in the submarine, this group of researchers came across a whale's carcass. Intrigued, they went near not knowing what awaits them. A group of sharks was feeding on the whale's body, and while doing it, they were kind of fighting each other for the bigger chunk of the meal. Seeing the sub go near, they thought the sub was after their meal too, and that is when they decided to first gang up on the submarine and make it go away from what was solely theirs.
Oh, he's pushing us.
After a few pushes to the submarine, the sharks eventually came to the conclusion that the submarine was not after the whale and went away. We all know the ocean is scary, but it starts to become scarier when weird things with no explanation start to happen there. For instance, these two divers happened to see the remains of an old airplane quite deep under the water, and that is when they decided to go near to inspect. But what they saw inside is another story. There were two skeletons inside the airplane, even though they had been stuck and drowned along with it. The source of the video is unknown, so we don't know if it's real or fake. Do let us know what you guys think. A British cargo ship, SS Thistlegorm, was built in 1940 and was ruling the sea until it was sunk by a German bomber aircraft in the Red Sea. Until that day, it is resting on the bed of the ocean. For now, it is 30 meters below the surface and is working as the home for hundreds of small fishes. Even a moray eel is seen visiting the captain's cabin. Hundreds of motorbikes, cars, and other equipment just sits there. It seems to bring us back to 1941 again. So much history and equipment wound up on the bottom of the sea. In September of 2011, a weird discovery was made hundreds of meters deep under the ocean. It was a cave which somehow remained away from humans' exploration, hence it had saved the secrets lying in it. A fossil was found, but it wasn't of any dinosaur, but a crocodile's fossil which might have lived some thousands of years ago. And not just that, the cave had several other fossils of different animals including bats, sloths, and even monkeys. Now, how did they all get there? We don't know, but if you do, feel free to let us know in the comments below. It doesn't only happen in the Pirates of the Caribbean movies that giant monsters attack you while you're stranded deep into the ocean with no hopes of being saved. Because this is exactly what happened to this poor submarine when a bunch of squids decided to gang up on it. This happened in 2014, where some scientists were trying to study the ocean, and the squids thought of the sub as an enemy or something. This is a sign that it is best to just leave the squids alone and not to invade their territory. Submarines come across weird creatures, shipwrecks, human skeletons, and many more things under there. But sometimes they come across other lost submarines too. Just like this one did. It is a Japanese mini-submarine, which was involved in some attacks which took place about 75 years ago. And for now, it lays on the bed of the ocean as a reminder to whatever thing it was a part of. For those who still don't know, let me tell you. Titanic the movie was based on true events, and we will show you the actual shipwreck of the ill-fated Titanic. The wreck of the ship was discovered on the 1st of September 1985 and is located at the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean, around 3,962 meters under the water, still keeping alive the memories of all the people who were there and also giving the reality touch to the story of Jack and Rose from the movie. It's crazy to think that it's been over a century since the incident took place, and yet some objects remain almost untouched by the passage of time. Neither a squid nor an octopus. The vampire squid is just something else. It resembles both but did not fit into either, so the scientists decided it would be best to just classify it separately. The vampire squids have a 165 million year evolutionary history. It has been referred to as the vampire squid of hell, but contrary to what the name implies, they're not bloodsuckers or aggressive hunters. The name was only given because of the dark color and cape-like appearance of the connected arms. A man went deep diving with his friends and saw something shiny deep under the water. He and his friends went near the shiny things thinking it might be some hidden treasure, not knowing that it is exactly what that was. An old sunken ship full of boxes which had gold coins in all of them. The excitement and the amazement of the friends can be seen in the clip. They couldn't believe what they just got in their hands. So when are you going on your sunken treasure search? I know it sounds a little ridiculous, but there's a river beneath the deep sea. This amazing location, one of the most incredible diving spots, is only 15 minutes from Tula, Mexico. 55 meters below the surface of the ocean, a river flows underwater. You might be wondering why they continue to be apart at this point. The halocline, a mysterious cloud layer made of hydrogen sulfate that prevents fresh water and salt water from interacting with one another, is what separates the two. Isn't it something so incredible? The goblin shark may be the most terrifying creature you have ever seen, and I'm not lying or exaggerating. I mean, just take a look at this scary creature's jaws. Similar to the xenomorph from the Alien movies, the goblin shark is renowned for having a 3-inch long jaw that enables it to seize prey and bring it back into its mouth for consumption. It's extremely unlikely that any of you will ever stumble upon one by accident, as it dwells thousands of meters below the surface of the water. But if you do, may the Lord be with you. We're so busy searching in space when here on Earth there are also so many wondrous and mysterious places and creatures that still have yet to be discovered. As much as you might think it's normal, it isn't. I mean, yeah, whales are animals and they need to sleep. But this is more about the way they sleep. Imagine going for a deep dive into the ocean and coming across this massive whales, all just floating in the deep waters. If you ask me, I might get a mini heart attack right there. It kind of makes sense though. I mean, we sleep horizontally while we live our lives vertically. They live their lives horizontally and sleep vertically. What do you guys think? Even though the first specimen of this giant phantom jellyfish was collected in 1899, it was not until 60 years later that scientists recognized this as a new species. Even till now, scientists still know very little about this animal. It is said to be around 9 meters long, and the long arms aren't just to look stunning, but to also trap the prey. And because giant phantom jellyfish are native to the deep sea, their sightings are rare. In fact, it is said that they predominantly dwell in areas that aren't accessible by humans or even submarines. There is very little video evidence of their existence available. Everyone wants to enjoy a relaxing trip on the lovely seas, but besides marine biologists, no one knows what lies miles below the water's surface. Well, when scientists discovered a very peculiar fish, they were positively perplexed. The viewers were baffled until they saw the climax, at which point they gasped in surprise. In a flash, the fish's mouth deflated, revealing what it was. The gulper eel has a mouth that resembles a pouch and can expand to swallow very large prey. The fascinating mouth and distinct way that the gulper fish move make the entire process fascinating. Also known as the anglerfish, this creature is the spookiest submarine discovery ever made. With its razor-sharp teeth, a weird antenna, and strange physique, this fish gave nightmares to the people who saw it for the first time. Though you can relax, cause the size of the fish is where it lacks. About 4 to 5 inches is what the average size is, so don't worry, it can't eat you alive. Apart from its looks, the fish is also famous for its unique method of mating. The male spends its whole life finding a spouse, and when it does, it latches onto it and never lets the female go. So yeah, taking until death do us apart quite literally here. Australian researchers recently recorded video of a bizarre creature that swam about close to the sea floor while conducting a video survey of the deep, dark waters of the Southern Ocean. But when a pink, blob-like animal propelled by a tiny pair of fins fluttered into the shot, the team was taken aback. According to the researchers, it resembled a chicken, a little bit just before you put it in the oven. Further investigation led to the identification of the strange creature. It's an elusive sea cucumber, known commonly as the headless chicken monster, due to its resemblance to a roasting item on a spit. Sometimes deep into the oceans, you have encounters which you won't be able to forget all your lives, and this is exactly what happened here. A bunch of researchers came across a curious whale who wanted to be near the sea where the lights were coming from. It was about 598 meters below the surface in the Gulf of Mexico. The whale circled the submarine several times and gave the crew a chance to capture this incredible footage and share it with us. You've probably seen movies where zombies swarm the body in an attempt to eat the flesh and brains. What if I told you that this actually did occur in the ocean during a certain occurrence? It happens when a whale dies and sinks to the bed of the ocean, inviting literally every being present to come and have a feast. However, what makes this one particularly terrifying is that when the nearby marine life realizes that there's an all-you-can-eat buffet waiting to be enjoyed, they all go for it at once and don't mind sharing with other species. A submarine about 3,048 meters under the surface captured this footage of a whale fall. Off the coast of California, some scientists were conducting research when they went past 914 meters to see what else they could find, and they discovered dead squids on the ocean floor. At first, there were only 1 or 2, but as they started to search the area, they discovered a great deal more, and then even more. Following a closer inspection, it was discovered that the sheets lying next to the dead squids were actually egg sheets, or the sheets that squids lay to hatch their numerous spawn. The presence of the egg sheets indicated that they were actually the remains of the mother squids after they had given birth. These pretty little things are called the sea angels and are only found in very deep waters. Basically, they are snails, just the ones who live in water. And at the very initial stages, like some other deep water creatures, they are pretty much transparent. And the most fun fact about them is their mating process. They turn their reproductive organs upside down and then latch onto each other during the whole process. And even after getting apart, they leave a permanent scar on each other's body. No, it's not called Dumbo because the scientists thought it was a dumb octopus. In fact, they found it particularly similar to the elephant from the Disney movie Dumbo, and that's why they named it so. I mean, I don't say they were wrong, just look at those cute little ears all flapping in the water. They live in very deep waters, so not a lot is known about them. But what we do know is that they live 3 to 5 years, and neither can they survive outside the highly pressurized waters of the deep sea. So yeah, you can't keep them as pets no matter how cute you find them. If you have survived all the entries before, we have another spooky one for you. This species of prehistoric shark is called frilled shark, and it is very rarely seen alive because its natural habitat is some 600 meters or more under the sea. But what's fascinating isn't the fact that it lives in deep waters. It is the fact that this shark has been living in the ocean for 80 million years. They are called living fossils for this reason. Still, You don't need to get worried because they are mostly out of the reach of humans, so they don't possess any threats to humans. But scientists and researchers are an exceptional case here. The road to Atlantis is a recently discovered beautiful rock formation that resembles the yellow brick road from The Wizard of Oz. Off the coast of Hawaii, deep-sea explorers were looking for seamounts, submerged volcanic structures, when they came across the underwater road. It's the fact that the road, which is so deep in the ocean, actually looks like something only a human can build. The way the path looks and the rectangular formation, it all refers to human existence. So, is it a work of mermaids, or is it something else? Do let us know what you guys think. When viewed from a distance, a siphonophore appears to be just one creature with a lot of freedom of movement. However, they are actually a colony of organisms made of things called zooids, which are clusters of organisms that are known to clone and grow until there are thousands or even tens of thousands of them in just one entity. What we're seeing in this picture is a siphonophore about 45 meters, making it the longest animal to ever exist. Some people even call it the sea centipede or the sea tapeworm. We can never know with certainty what kind of creatures lurk under the deep dark water. For instance, the oarfish. It's unclear what those oarfish were up to. In the clip, we get a close-up look at two of these amazing animals. Oarfish are typically found in the deep sea, but because there isn't much food there, they travel to shallower waters in search of food. As you can see in the video, they frequently wash up on the beach, and locals are attempting to assist them in returning to the water. These creatures, which can grow up to 3 to 8 meters long, are found in the deep sea at the depths of 1,000 meters. The ningen is thought to be a fairly large aquatic mythical creature that was first spotted in the Arctic by Japanese whale researchers. The legend seems to be strongly supported by this video, which was allegedly taken from the Japanese Agency for Marine Earth Science and Technology. It appears to be a rounded humanoid creature with two large white eyes as the slow-moving camera creeps past it. If you look closely, you can even make out a playful smile on the sea creature's face, which some have described as having a knowing expression. This unusual species of crab inhabits the waters close to Antarctica. These crab swarms, which resemble ghosts, move slowly and are found close to hydrothermal vents. These vents' hot water provides the habitat for the beings that live there. Because of their hairy undersides, which they use to remove minerals from the water, they are known as yeti crabs. The males stay closest to the vents and are bigger than the females. The females with eggs move farther away into cooler water, possibly to protect embryos, where they feed on communities of bacteria that live on their hair-lined bellies. At depths of more than 2,000 meters, these marine creatures exist in complete darkness. You shouldn't expect anything when going to explore the seabed, because at first, these scientists too expected to see just the normal ocean bed with some creatures swimming here and there. But what they found was a thriving, unprecedented colony of ice fish, about a third of the size of London. It is said that there are about 60 million of ice fish there, and it is the largest found colony of these beings ever. The fact that this colony has managed to remain hidden until very recently is the very reason why it seems so healthy and thriving. Being the only species of spider known to spend its entire life underwater makes the diving bell spider somewhat unique. This spider inhabits freshwater environments, including ponds and lakes in Asia and Europe, and ranges from Great Britain to Japan, encompassing much of the entire region in between. It only occasionally comes to the surface to refuel on oxygen. Finding a bone here and there is one thing, and stumbling upon a whole T-Rex skeleton is another thing. And trust me, it's no small deal. In here, we see a family who was peacefully living their lives until one of them tried to dig the backyard up just to see if they would find something strange hidden there. It won't be wrong to say that they actually hit a jackpot with it when they found a T-Rex skeleton lying there just waiting to be found out by humans. The boys, you can see, are pretty excited with what they are seeing, and the elders continuously ask them to not touch the delicate bones. Although the skeleton looks a little small as compared to what we've heard about their sizes. It can be a baby T-Rex too. Do let us know what you guys think. Before moving any further, like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon so you can keep watching our amazing content. It's not just about the dinosaur skeletons or cars. Sometimes people came upon things which are very valuable, even on the days they're found. For instance, gold. This man came upon a bunch of valuable antiques in his backyard. There was a big spoon made of gold, an old knife, and some other antiques which I can't really figure out. All these things were wrapped in a sack and somehow managed to survive for whatever days they were buried. Do let us know what you guys think about these. When this man's metal detector signaled to him that there was something hidden under those walls, the guy knew what he needed to do. He got his shovel and started digging. He dug and dug until he hit something hard. It was a wooden box in the shape of a cylinder, kind of a time capsule. He tried opening it and was stunned to see lots and lots of money inside. Not just bills, but also coins were there. Maybe the previous owners of the house or someone else hid it there to take it back later. Whatever the case, the guy found it and now the money is all his. Finding cars and money and gold and even cities is one thing, and finding a perfectly preserved holy book from hundreds of years ago is something on a whole other level. And this is exactly what this man came upon. A Bible buried under the ground along with a photo frame with Mary's picture in it was something this man was not expecting to find, I guess. Nonetheless, a valuable discovery just like every other entry in today's list. I bet y'all are getting too involved in Minecraft because everywhere we go, someone is digging up the backyard hoping to find some valuable things. And well, we're not saying that it isn't working either, because it is. For instance, this man who found gold, like real gold, and I'm not even joking here. It's pure gold right there, and I don't have to say how happy he must have felt, because you can already imagine, right? So, when are you going to start digging? In 2015, James Bristol and a friend were digging in his southern Michigan soybean field when they unearthed what looked like a bent fence post, caked with mud. Instead, it was part of a pelvis from an ancient woolly mammoth that lived up to 15,000 years ago. A team of paleontologists from the University of Michigan and an excavator recovered about 20% of the animal's skeleton. Aside from the pelvis, they found the skull and 2 tusks, along with numerous vertebrae, ribs, and both shoulder blades. Everything was taken by the researchers for further investigation about the mammoth and the reason on how it might have died. It is not always that people stumble upon dollar bills and gold bars in their backyards. Sometimes they can find old statues buried. Like this one man, when his metal detector did his job and told him that there was something under all that dirt, the man tried digging, first with his shovel, then his hand. And in the end, he found a golden statue in a perfect condition, if we take aside the dirt. It looked pretty ancient and was a woman holding something on her head. We all spend our childhood sifting through the sand in the hopes of striking it rich by unearthing some long-lost artifacts. Usually we uncover a cat's abandoned gift or an old rusted matchbox vehicle. It's quite uncommon to find anything valued in either case. However, with a young group of boys in California, that wasn't exactly the case. They came across something while digging in their yard that would make anyone's mouth water and jaw drop. They discovered something large, metal, and quite precious in 1978, while these kids were rummaging around in their yard. A Ferrari buried! In 2021, a man saw something poking out of his backyard. He decided to dig up whatever it was and get rid of it. But after uncovering it all, he saw that it was a huge box made of wood and tied around with chains. He cleared the mud and took it out. After removing the chains, he opened it up and was astonished to find antique pieces of cutlery in it. There were some glasses, a vase, and other things. There was also a sack in which he found little golden statues. We really don't know what it was worth, but by the looks of it, the man really did hit some fortune. While examining the places which are assumed to be the battlefields for the world wars, this man came across a weird thing. He assumed that it was a gas mask container which the veterans used during the war, but since it was tightly packed and so old that nothing was sure to be about it. After cleaning it up a bit and opening it, turned out the man was right and it was a gas mask container. After completely examining the container and taking its contents out, the man moved on with his discovery journey, and not too far, he found a belt with a buckle too. Both of his findings probably belonged to some brave soldier who fought for us on those front lines. So we can never say that these findings were not valuable. Weapons. Yes, weapons can also be discovered and can be very valuable, especially when it comes to their lovers. And in this case, the man who found it was exactly the one who would know its value too. It was perfectly wrapped in a plastic bag before being buried. Still, being under all that dirt, the rifle wasn't in its best condition. He took it out and called someone to get it tested to know if it was real or just fake. And according to him, it turned out to be a real one. Not exactly in the backyard, but this discovery deserves to be included in our list. I mean, talking about expensive discoveries. How can you exclude money, right? This guy found a hole in the floor in his house, and when he put his hand inside and took out whatever was there, the sheer joy he might have felt is quite undescribable by just mere words, because he found a lot of dollar bills and coins from under there. Now, it isn't an ancient discovery, I know, but finding so much money out of nowhere is an amazing discovery in itself. In New York, a century-old time capsule was discovered, revealing a bunch of strange items. Spectators of the New York Historical Society gathered around the mysterious bronze box as workers wearing surgical gloves removed 26 screws, keeping it sealed since 1914. Historian Nick Yablon removed the first of the items, a collection of documents and news reports depicting the New York's businessmen's interests, from the pioneering tea, coffee, and spice trade of the 17th century Dutch colony to contemporary baseball and bullfights. It also included a message for the future governor of New York, saying that there is also a telegram which he needs to check. Yes, you heard it right. While digging up their backyard in search of the gold treasure and the dollar bills, these guys actually hit a massive bomb just lying there. And then the whole area had to evacuate until the bomb was taken somewhere safely. The whole Army bomb disposal squad was brought in to take care of the newly discovered 225-kilogram deadly thing found in northwest London. So you better be careful before digging anywhere. The guy found an old war bunker and went in with his friends to investigate. Turned out it wasn't just an ordinary bunker built by a commoner. It had lots of rooms, a lift, motion sensors, electricity, and much more. It looked like the bunker had been repurposed for records archive cold storage. If you look at all the old beds, they have barcodes on stickers. These are to allow people to find the location of a specific record if they need to retrieve it. It's the perfect place because of the stable environment and how easy it is to secure. The kitchenette is almost certainly in active use, or was until recently when the records were removed. I imagine it has only recently been shut down as the fire extinguishers are all in groups, ready to be taken away by the supplier. Good find! What would it feel like if you just go to your backyard and take out the carrots, which you've been growing with so much love and care, and you find a gift that nature has given you along with the carrot? Well, we know it hasn't happened to you, but nature became so very generous when it came to Mary Graham's case. Mary lost her ring about a decade ago and couldn't find it anywhere. But it was like that until her daughter-in-law went to the backyard to get the carrots out for supper and found the ring fixed around it. Even though it took years, at least she got back what was hers. Well, it looked like a dragon's egg to the people who saw it first, and the man who found it too. But upon investigating further into what the thing was, it turned out to be a 20,000-year-old armadillo shell. They were almost the size of a car, and that is why the shell looked more related to dinosaurs and dragons than something else to the people. It is said that the prehistoric creature lived around 20 million years ago on Earth and has long been extinct, and the shell has been transferred to a museum for further investigation. In Ireland, a farmer was working as his usual routine when he found a weird big ball buried in a peat bog. He didn't know what it was, but he wanted to know. So after contacting a local museum and getting it investigated, he came to know that it was a 2,000-year-old ball of butter. For people in old times, butter was like a delicacy. Therefore, they used to save it for later use. Though this one was put aside for a little longer than it was meant to be. We are talking about one ancient Roman house which was found in the backyard of a house, but God knows how many are buried in that city or the whole country. Talking about this one, we see two officials going down a big hole through the ladder, and down there is the remains of one rich Roman's house. The patterns and the walls all look so well preserved. It is less known how it was preserved or what happened to it in the first place. Still, it's a cool thing to find in your backyard, no? These aren't just some remains of the dinosaur eggs. These are the most perfectly preserved dinosaur eggs anyone has ever discovered. 5 eggs, almost 70 million years old, were found in China. And this discovery was made by a little guy who was playing and accidentally stumbled upon the exposed soil due to the fallen bridge nearby. 3 of the 5 eggs were destroyed, but were still visible in the fossil. They are said to likely belong to a plant-eating dinosaur in the Cretaceous period. Researchers have said that the embryo might be in perfect condition, and there is a chance that it might help in the revival of the beings. We all dream of finding treasure someday, but not all of us get the dream come true moment, I guess. But in the case of this couple, they did find something. Hidden behind the trees, there was a safe. It wasn't really apparent until a deer destroyed the trees, and they had to cut and replace them. That is when they saw the safe, and after opening it, they found hundreds of dollar bills and jewelry inside it. A shelter built decades ago and unopened since then is something which might creep the hell out of some people, while it can be exciting for others. In this case, the people got pretty excited when they find it in their yard and went on to investigate it too. It was almost half filled with water, and the men were waist deep in there. So we couldn't really see what was in there, but hopefully they will pump out the water and let us see how it actually looked with proper lighting someday. This entry is for you if you've ever fantasized about finding a treasure that could make you instantly wealthy. The couple merely needed to uncover their own treasure in their backyard, unlike some people who travel the world in pursuit of gold. When they first opened it, they found discs coated in dust. But when they brushed and wiped the dust and grime away, they saw discs in light and realized that it could be gold. The couple quickly returned to the same location, and after another round of digging, they discovered a lot of 8 cans containing 1,427 coins. These coins were all dated from 1847 to 1894. And because they were made of gold, they were all extremely valuable, as they were perfectly preserved gold coins with Liberty head designs on the front. Talking about the luckiest people on Earth today, this little girl just has to be mentioned. While playing golf in her yard, she saw something shiny lying on the ground. Curious, she went to see what it was. And to her surprise, it was a diamond there. Just like anyone, she thought it might be fake, but kept it with her anyways. Only till later when her mother got it checked and it turned out to be a real 1-carat diamond. Imagine finding a little diamond as a kid, thinking it's fake, and then keeping it for so long only to realize it's real. It isn't odd to find ancient whale fossils. What is odd here is finding them in the desert. It raises questions and eyebrows both. Why were there whales in the desert? Is it because it was all water before? Or is it because whales were land-based animals? Scientists have said that this can be the case, and it can be true that those huge, massive creatures once lived on the sand and then evolved to the water later. What do you guys think? While searching for the fossils of the king of sharks, the megalodon, this discoverer actually came across something else almost the same in value. After hours and hours of digging, the guy was about to give up when he thought, let's just try a little more before we go back. And that is when he actually got his hands on a massive whale's fossil. It dates back to hundreds of years back, and the man actually did end up selling it for quite a fortune. Stolen in 1992 and found in 2022, this Mercedes has its own story to tell. Landscapers made this bizarre discovery in October of 2022 at a home in the heart of California's Silicon Valley. A Mercedes-Benz that was reported stolen decades ago buried 4 to 5 feet underground with bags of unused concrete inside. It's weird how the man who stole it just somehow buried it many feet under the ground and left it there for years. I mean, why steal it if you're not going to use it? They are also saying that the owners might have done it to get the insurance money. What do you guys think? More than 50 years ago, when Gary Johnson was still a teenager, he first spotted this rock. At the time, he saw something, but because he didn't think much of it, he probably forgot about the rock, until authorities discovered a million-year-old sperm whale fossil at a nearby school, which they were celebrating. And that is when Johnson knew that the rock he had forgotten wasn't just a rock, and that it might be something very valuable. So he informed the authorities about the forgotten boulder right away. Using pulleys and a steel trolley, the officials swiftly removed the 1,000-pound rock. After researching the fossil, the museum discovered that it was actually a 17-million-year-old baleen whale fossil. The entire crew had to pull the fossil up a steep backyard slope into a truck to bring it to the museum. Alfie Hislop was walking at Middlewick Ranges in the fields behind the Australian estate in Colchester. Alfie Hislop was walking at Middlewick Ranges in the fields behind the Australian estate in Colchester with some friends on Wednesday evening when he noticed something poking out of the ground. The 18-year-old moved in for a closer look, starting to dig to uncover what was hidden. He soon realized what he had uncovered was a mortar round. At first, he panicked after seeing the bomb, but then called the police, which handled the rest. In the Salt Lake City in Utah, a man while digging his backyard came upon some human skeletons. Now, if this isn't enough to creep you out, just know that these skeletons were about 700 years old. Archaeologists think that the place or the whole area might have a lot more than just the skeletons, and there's a chance that a whole city is buried under it. But they can't dig up the whole city, can they? I hope they actually let the poor boy fish his pond, which he was digging his yard up for. While trying to get rid of a walnut tree in his backyard, this man came across something he wasn't expecting at all. While trying to cut it down, something fell from the tree. Being a cannonball, it first shocked the hell out of the man. But then seeing that nothing happened, he gathered all courage and went to report it to the appropriate people. The cannonball was found to belong to the 1862 war, thus making it a very valuable historical find. The picture is of an apocalypse bunker. By the looks of it, you see a few men working and a few ladders here and there. Well, this picture is purely Photoshopped though. There were a lot of bunkers which were discovered by people, even in their backyards. So let's move on to our last entry and see one such example. A 1957 Plymouth Belvedere classic car buried inside a waterlogged concrete vault for more than 50 years is what this guy found. No matter how happy he was while the car was being taken out of the thing, it later came upon him that the car doesn't run and is only held together by rust and mud. Still, being an old classic, it is being held and preserved in the museum where everyday people come to admire the beauty the car once used to be. Also, take notes. It is no good to preserve a car like that, because it'll be of no use pretty soon. How would you feel if you found a number of graves in your backyard? I know I would be absolutely terrified. This is exactly what happened to an unnamed Omaha resident who was working in his yard when he unexpectedly discovered not just one, but multiple gravestones. It is undoubtedly a gloomy discovery. At the time, he had just purchased a property and was unsure of what to anticipate. At first, he assumed that he had only unearthed a few constructed stones. Nevertheless, as he continued to dig, he eventually discovered an entire gravesite, and those graves turned out to be hundreds of years old. Imagine one bright sunny day you go out and there's a big moon out there. And then you see something weird near the moon, and in a second, you see it crashing into the moon. Not just you, in fact, every person standing there who witnessed this weird thing happening was shocked to their core. The whole explosion which happened there was pretty much clear. And no, it's not at all fake. Before moving any further, like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon so you can keep watching our amazing content. One day in Italy, dark clouds covered the sky. Expecting rain from them, people were quite chill. But what they did not know was that it wouldn't be water coming down from the sky. Instead, it would be stones. These black stones fell all over the area, leaving not just the locals, but the scientists in shock too. This video went viral on the internet a couple of months ago. This glowing creature was caught on camera in China, where not just one, but many people saw it and recorded it on their cameras. If you look at it carefully, it might seem like some other universe's portal, which might have been open to let aliens or other beings into this one. Do let us know what you guys think about it. Just a big cloud would have been fine. A sky full of red clouds would seem okay too. But a big red cloud standing separate from others isn't something you consider normal at all. And this is exactly what the people in Turkey saw. This round red cloud appeared in the sky for God knows what reason. And some are saying that it was actually a UFO, but nothing was ever confirmed. A man was out in the field wandering around when he saw a big creature flying in the sky. At first, he thought it must be a bird and didn't notice much, but at second glance, it appeared to be quite bigger than an average bird. Now, you must think that it was an eagle or something, but the man who recorded it said that it was no normal bird and wasn't flying like it either. We all love laying on the ground and watching the clouds take weird shapes. Sometimes it's a horse that we see, and sometimes even a unicorn. But there are times when clouds actually take quite spooky shapes, shocking every person watching it. For instance, this one. People watching the sky saw the clouds forming the shape of a man's face. It looked like the man of the cloud was headed somewhere. Taking such concrete shapes for a cloud is not very common, said the researchers. And why this cloud did it remains unknown. Some tourists were trying to capture themselves with a beautiful building in the background, when the person with the camera noticed something weird happening behind them. A man was flying high up in the sky, or was it even a man? With no logical reason or explanation to this, we can't say that it was a human or something else. And the way it flew away was such a fast speed. And this wasn't the first time it was recorded. In this clip, you can see the same man again flying high up in the sky. This time, just the location wasn't the same as before. What do you think? Was it real? Looks somehow genuine to me. We all think of mythology as something created by the human mind and the imaginative powers it holds. But sometimes nature likes surprising humans, and that's when it takes the creatures that it's hiding out and shows the whole world how it can actually be all true. And that is exactly what happened. A dragon seen by millions of people flying high above in the sky. From where it came and exactly where did it go, no one knows. In fact, no proper and logical explanations have ever been made about this clip. Now, you might have seen weird kinds of clouds in the sky, and you might have rainbows in the sky too. But watching a rainbow cloud in the sky is something which looks out of this world upon watching. And this is what happened in China when the locals found this astonishing thing from their windows. It was like a spiral of rainbow above the clouds. Looked like some kind of fantasy land God is making above the clouds, doesn't it? Sometimes weird things happen, and sometimes they have an explanation behind them, while other times they don't. For instance, a rare sun halo was seen over a mountain in Sweden, where people were busy skiing and enjoying snow. And upon witnessing such a thing, they stopped and stood to see what exactly was happening. This just reminds all of us that the beauty of nature is timeless, and that nature will never cease to shock us no matter how advanced in technology we get. What started off as a very tiny point in the sky became a wide streak of light in the matter of a few seconds, shocking the people of Arizona from where it was all witnessed and recorded. And not just that, a few small circles spiraling inside the hollow of light were also seen. Was it a UFO? Or just a rocket? But then, what were the small circles inside of it? Questions were made and no answers were given. I guess the scientists couldn't find any logical reasons behind it. Is that an angel descending from heaven? Or an alien UFO trying to get to Earth? Well, whatever it might be, it's not just something to be considered very normal on Earth. I mean, from in between the deep dark clouds stands a vertical line of light. Definitely not our usual thing. Where one clip shows you the school of Hogwarts floating in the sky, the other shows a whole city floating above us all. Too bad the Hogwarts one isn't real, but a fake one made by someone. But the other one is quite genuine. It shows the cloud in the form of a big city with many different buildings, tall and short both. But the question is it just the clouds, or is there a world hidden from us all above all those mighty clouds? Do let us know what you guys think about it. With people saying it's something paranormal, or maybe kind of a witchcraft or something, others just think it might be some yet-to-be-explained scientific mystery. Because what they saw isn't something you just digest without any reason. A black circle hovering in the sky which even looks smoky from different angles and images. It could be some kind of a portal too. What do you guys think about this one? These strange sets of lights have not just puzzled the average people, but have also got the scientists in confusion. These are called the Northern Lights, and most commonly occur within the geographic area beneath the auroral oval. It is one of the most beautiful phenomenon, and worth braving a cold night out when visiting the high northern latitudes. Solely created by Mother Earth with no contribution of humans, this phenomenon is made to just astonish us all. A man bought a new expensive camera for himself so he can zoom into the moon and see what it looks like while in his home. But when he was all set with his camera and zoomed to the moon, what he saw not only astonished him, but also the whole world. Two weird beings were first seen walking on the moon, and then they kind of disappeared onto its surface. Neither he nor the scientist could explain what it was. Also, whatever the things were, they had to be pretty big to be seen from such a far distance. We don't only have weird creatures, UFOs, and weird lights, but in today's list, you will also see weird phenomena. Like when Mother Nature saw a dirty car and decided that it was the only one which needs to be cleaned. Thus, it rained and only rained on that specific car. So you all need to wash your cars or nature will take it by itself and you might find a wet car while coming back from work. We couldn't decide if it was in the sky or on water. Nonetheless, we include this entry in our list. A boat was seen on the horizon floating. It was not on the surface of the water, but instead appeared to hover above it. And as usual, scientists failed to give any concrete evidence, making us all suspicious. You'd think we'd have run out of bizarre clouds to be amazed at by this point. You're mistaken though, because we haven't examined the magnificent mammatus cloud structure, also known as a bubble-wrap sky, in my opinion. They bulge in such a way that I want to reach out and pop them. The wonderfully strange protrusions that resemble pouches form within cumulonimbus clouds, the kind that frequently produces storms. Air currents rise and fall as a result of the turbulence within these clouds. In these circumstances, the peculiar sagging pouches in the condensate are formed by chilly sinking air. Though the patterns these pouches create can be completely random or unsettlingly linear depending on the air currents, no matter their shape, they all appear especially stunning around a sunset. A mysterious line of bright lights were seen at night in India. Some call it a rocket, and some call it a UFO. But if it was a rocket, how come it appeared for just 5 minutes and then disappeared like it was never there? For a whole 5 minutes, the locals saw the thing, all perplexed and confused, wondering what it was. The unidentified fast-moving bright object sparked quite a flutter on Twitter as well. Those who saw the light said they had not seen anything as beautiful as that light, which sparked the sky for 5 minutes and then vanished in the sky. Another out-of-this-world clip was caught on camera in April of 2021, when a news channel showed a clip of a UFO sighting. Not just one video, but a bunch of other images and clips went viral over the internet too. Some said it was the most genuine evidence ever seen on television. The zoomed-in images and the night vision cameras even enhanced the shape of the UFOs, and the pyramid-shaped things looked really weird. And this is not it. Back in 2019, the same 3 UFOs were seen near Australia too. If these are really UFOs, what exactly are they doing hidden away from all of us? It may appear at first to be a gigantic bird migration. They are sort of birds, yes, but not the ones you're probably picturing. They are actually bats, and there are probably thousands of them all at once. And according to the person who recorded it, there were millions of them. They might have been exiting Batman's lair. No one can comment because they have never seen so many bats together, I mean. So perhaps they were leaving Gotham City. What you're seeing is actually a time-lapse video. But if you see it closely, you can see some red lines in the sky appearing after every second. These are called the red sprites in the sky, and upon looking closely, they look like red jellyfishes swimming in the sky. It happens quite often in several areas, and when it does, people gather to see the wonderful phenomenon of the lights. Scientists did try to explain why it happens, but still, no concrete explanation or evidence is given to the public. So it remains a unusual phenomenon that science couldn't explain. The thing we see in this video looks like a fireball coming from the sky straight towards the Earth. And the reason behind it? Well, unknown. According to some, it could just be sun peeking through a group of clouds. But according to others, it could be God punishing someone bad on Earth. We're not sure what it is, as the source of the clip is unknown, but you can always let us know what you think in the comment section. You can call it a beautiful disaster, or you can just get horrified by it. It all depends on how you see lightning coming out of the smoke coming from the volcano. It usually occurs at the plume of a volcano, and like usual thunderstorms, it happens when static electricity builds up. However, why exactly does it happen? A video made near the mountains of Tibet in India showed a Chinese dragon flying up and into the sky. The wavy movements of the dragon indicated being real. Still, how blurry the video is and its source being unknown says that it can be fake as well. But let us assume for a minute here, what if it was real, and the dragons are real just hiding away from the human beings? That'd be fascinating, no? Instead of a sunrise, Norway's sky was brightened on December 9, 2009 at 6:45 a.m. by an eerily large spiral that was swirling. With a threatening blue tail of light streaming behind it, it grew ominously larger over time. But within only 10 minutes, it disappeared. It seemed too unusual to be true, but several people managed to capture the phenomenon on camera, and footage of this peculiar spiral was featured on news broadcasts all around the world. Some claimed it was a failed attempt to weaponize the weather. It didn't take long for some odd individuals to assert that it was aliens, though the real reason remained unknown. Corey Huron was live on his Facebook, briefing his followers on his plans and his daily routine, when he accidentally ended up recording a strange thing in the sky. A small cloud in the middle of nowhere was shaped like an angel or some otherworldly creature. The weirdest part is that the little sky was all alone with no other clouds anywhere near it. The video was seen by almost 6 million people who couldn't believe their eyes. And according to Corey himself, nobody would have believed him if he didn't get it live. Well, he isn't wrong though. A weird incident in which hundreds of birds dropped from the sky and perished there was caught on tape by a security camera in northern Mexico. They were large flocks of black birds with yellow heads flying south. While some of them bounced back from the fall, a sizable portion of them simply could not move. Although it appears to be in freefall or some other situation, the adjacent zookeeper claimed that these birds were indeed fleeing from a predator. The real cause of this widespread death is still a mystery. Somewhere in Beijing, a colorful cloud appeared. Upon seeing it, everyone watching it gave it the name of the rainbow cloud. I mean, they weren't wrong, it does look like a rainbow cloud. Why this cloud had such colors and patterns, nobody knows. And it appeared only once, never before and never again. So researchers couldn't get much hands on the thing to investigate and explain it. But well, no matter how unexplainable and mysterious this thing is, it does look very pretty to see. Called the morning glory, these clouds are not like the usual ones we see from our windows. It spans from horizon to horizon, like some sort of planet-sized sausage. These morning beauty clouds also have a maximum diameter of almost 620,000 meters and a maximum height of over 1 mile. Additionally, they have a top speed of 65 feet per second. Damn, these tubes found their destination, but how did they cluster into so many tubes? Even though scientists have a good understanding of clouds in general, they still don't have a definitive response. Since they are most frequently found along coastlines where there's an abundance of moist air, moisture and temperature play a crucial role. Sometimes cameras capture things which are not supposed to be seen by others, just like this one did. A man was on his way somewhere, and while crossing a bridge, his dashcam captured this plane in the sky. But it was no ordinary plane. It was not going anywhere. Instead, the game was stuck in the sky, not moving at all. Neither forward nor backward. And why was it stuck? Or how was it stuck? I guess we'll never know. This cool and very cloudy phenomenon was recorded in Arizona. The light seemed to be coming from one spot of the cloud and exiting from the other. It was so unbelievable that many gave it the name of a UFO, but nothing could be said for sure. Though we still think that it wasn't used by just Mother Nature doing strange things. It really was quite a spectacular sight to see, and many, including us, were puzzled after seeing it. Those who were lucky enough to be there on the night of July 27th and into the morning of July 28, 2018, got to see the longest blood moon eclipse of the 21st century, flanked by a massive, brilliant Mars as it approaches its closest to Earth since 2003. At least a portion of the total lunar eclipse, which had a maximum eclipse duration of 1 hour, 42 minutes, and 57 seconds, was visible from Australia, New Zealand, Asia, Europe, Africa, and South America. The moon and Mars were moving across the night sky together, separated by less space than the width of a hand. This was the longest eclipse of its sort. In deep, deep waters lurks creatures we have never known about. For instance, this mysterious shark. With more than 1,000 species discovered, there are still many, many more which we do not know about, like this one which was captured on an ROV near Mariana Trench. It was the first and the last time it was seen, so scientists do not know much about it. It can be a megalodon too, since it was so big. What do you think? One of the most mysterious and elusive creatures which lurks in the depths of the ocean and mostly near the Mariana Trench is the Magnapinna squid. Famous for its extremely long and thin arms, which are usually 10 times the length of its body, this squid is the perfect stuff for nightmares. And its spooky characteristics doesn't end here. Along with its elongated arms, it also has fins coming out of its body. So as you can already see, when all this adds up, the squid becomes something you would never want to encounter. Ever. It has been seen very few times, so scientists know very little about this species as it is rarely observed, making it a true deep-sea mystery. Yep, you heard it right, a frogfish! And it doesn't only sound weird, it also looks weird. With so much hair all over its body and a coral-like appearance, it is actually famous for not those reasons, but for being fast as hell. You blink and the frogfish has already caught its prey. At first, it creates a vacuum, literally sucks the fish in, and then in less than a nanosecond, the fish is gone. It was too fast for even slow motion. Like, what? Also known as the chimera, the ghost shark is a unique and elusive creature, often found near the Mariana Trench. And it isn't just like a normal shark. Instead, its big eyes and pointed snout make some feel spooky and others find it cute. Apart from their appearance, they're also known for their venomous spine located on the dorsal fin, which can be used as a defense mechanism. They are one of the lesser-known species in the ocean and have a distinct appearance with a long snout and large eyes, which make them different from other sharks. Found near the Mariana Trench, the ghost jellyfish is a mysterious creature, known for its ghost-like appearance and inhabiting the deep sea. This thing has long, trailing tentacles which can, in most cases, reach up to 30 feet in length, making it one of the longest species of jellyfish. They are also known for their bioluminescent properties, which allows them to emit a ghostly light and make them seem like something out of a fantasy world or something. Ghost jellyfish are elusive creatures that are still not well understood by scientists, despite being observed for over a century. Recently, the deep-sea creature with long ligaments, little paws, and peculiar movements has been caught near Mariana Trench. It is believed to be a deep-sea isopod from the suborder Acylota. This strange-looking crustacean swims backwards, and the protruding parts are its antennae and other appendages. Its unique movement and body structure allow it to navigate the harsh deep-sea environment with ease, and its long ligaments are likely used for sensing its surroundings and hunting for food. The discovery of this creature adds to the growing list of unique and fascinating deep-sea inhabitants. Deep beneath the ocean's surface, a strange and eerie creature has been captured on camera. Known as the bone worm or the zombie worm, this underwater creature is a type that is adapted to life in the deep waters. With its little body, which always craves bones, it is a truly unique sight to behold. And the bone worm is not just a pretty thing, as some of you might be considering, it is also a fierce predator, crushing and devouring the bones of dead animals that fall to the ocean floor. So the next time you're out on a very deep sea dive, keep an eye out for these eerie yet fascinating creatures. Comb jellyfish, also known as stenophores, are some of the most mesmerizing creatures, with their translucent bodies and delicate comb-like cilia. They move gracefully through the water. But did you know that these jellyfish are not actually true jellyfish? They actually belong to a separate phylum and do not have the stinging cells found in true jellyfish. They also have the ability to bioluminescence and can produce their own light, making them a dazzling sight in the dark depths of the ocean. Now, isn't this one fascinating creature created by nature to admire and appreciate? A fish which looks like a lizard. Got you going, ooh, didn't it? Well, with its elongated body and large staring eyes, lizardfish still remain a sight to behold, no matter how much you find it disgusting, just because it looks like a lizard. These ambush creatures are usually famous for their way of hunting, which we have tried but couldn't find to show you. Still, we will tell you that it lies with its mouth open and just waits for the prey to come by. And we know you might be thinking that it's impossible for this way to work, but it does, for the lizardfish at least. Sometimes they find sharks, other times they find other spooky creatures. But there are also times when researchers come across history lying at the deepest depths of the ocean. For instance, this Boeing B-29, which was used in World War II and crashed near the Mariana Trench, just for the remains to be rediscovered in 2016 in a pretty good shape for something which has spent many years in the crushing pressure of water. The bioluminescent shrimp is said to be one of its kind ever caught on camera, and according to the researchers, it might emit light to find prey and avoid predators in the deep sea. And like many other deep-sea creatures, the photophores in the shrimp light up and help it blend into the environment by matching the light coming from above. Camouflage for the shrimp. Pretty glowy shrimp for us humans. This remains as one of the cutest creatures found at about 4,600 feet of depth in the ocean. We have seen hundreds of species of jellyfish, every single one different from others, but this one remains at the top of our list. With very little known about it, this jellyfish had scientists confused for many years. They did not know where and how to classify it. They called it the unusual jellyfish and the secret jellyfish, and it is still the same till this day, because the deep-sea creatures were and will always be a mystery to us. Deep in the ocean's abyss, while investigating through their ROV, researchers come across a bright purple creature with giant eyes. At first they tried guessing what it was. A cuttlefish? An octopus? Davy Jones? It looked like a cartoon character, but these are actually a cross between an octopus and a squid. But is it more closely related to a cuttlefish? So it's real, but is some kind of a mixture of just everything. And its small size and elusive nature make it a rare catch for scientists and researchers, making it an intriguing and mysterious creature of the deep. Anemones, also known as flower animals or killer fish traps, are fascinating creatures found in the ocean. These invertebrates are related to coral and jellyfish and come in a wide variety of colors and sizes. One fun fact about them is that they can move, albeit slowly, by using their pedal foot to crawl along the ocean floor, but you won't realize it being how slow they are. So yeah, they're slow, they are colorful, but that doesn't mean that they're not dangerous just for the fish though. It is called a harp sponge because it literally looks like a harp. Found at the depth of 22,965 feet, they are only a few millimeters in length, but they possess a unique set of characteristics that set them apart from other deep-sea animals. They have long, thin legs which are covered in tiny hairs that help the sponge move through the water and capture food. The harp sponge also has a small, elongated body that is transparent, allowing it to blend in with its surroundings. Deep beneath the ocean's surface, a strange cucumber can be found in every shape and every form possible. Known for their sluggish and sedentary nature, these sea cucumbers have now adapted to an unexpected behavior: swimming. Like they were not already very weird before, their movements are slow and undulating, resembling a seahorse or maybe a snake. We don't know, they just look weird. But the strangeness doesn't stop there. Some species have been observed performing tricks while swimming. So yeah, these cucumbers are just some ever-evolving things, we guess. The glass octopus, also known as the invisible octopus, is a deep-sea creature that has the ability to camouflage itself by making its body transparent. This allows it to blend in with its surroundings and avoid predators. The octopus also has the ability to change the color and texture of its skin, making it an expert in disguise. Its body is elongated and has a gelatinous texture, making it difficult to spot in the water. Despite its eerie appearance, the glass octopus is a fascinating creature to observe in its natural habitat. Not as giant as a whale or a shark, but pretty huge for their average size. These amphipods are one of the most strange creatures found in the Mariana Trench. The giant amphipod, a type of crustacean, can grow up to 11 inches long and weigh up to 3 ounces. These fascinating creatures have been found at depths of up to 36,960 feet below the surface. Despite their size, they are incredibly agile and can swim quickly to escape predators. Glasshead fish, also known as barrel eyes, are a type of deep-sea fish that are known for their transparent head and large eyes. These fish are found in the deep waters of the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans, and can be found at depths of up to 2,000 feet. One of the most interesting things about glasshead fish is their eyes, which are located on top of their heads and are able to rotate 360 degrees. It is a pretty fascinating thing nature has created. Don't you guys think the same? Discovered in 2012, this ping pong tree sponge got its name due to its sparkling resemblance to the ping pong balls. They are carnivorous sponges found at the bed of the ocean and trap small creatures for eating them bit by bit. So yeah, it eats them alive, and it is its unique appearance and cruel ways which makes it so famous among us humans. This ping pong is a true marvel of the deep sea, able to thrive in the dark, cold depths where few other creatures can survive. The goblin shark, or another living fossil, is a unique and elusive deep-sea creature. With its long protruding snout and sharp teeth, it's certainly a sight to behold. Despite its fearsome appearance, the goblin shark is actually a slow-moving and relatively harmless animal. They are found at depths of up to 4,265 feet and are known to live up to 130 years. Though not much is known about the goblin shark's behavior and habitat. Scientists believe that they are solitary creatures that primarily feed on fish and squid. This elusive species is rarely seen, making it a true mystery of the deep. Deep beneath the ocean's surface lies a world of volcanic activity. The deep sea is home to countless hydrothermal vents, where superheated water and chemicals spew forth from the Earth's crust. And this is what you're seeing right now, is the deepest volcanic eruption to ever be recorded on a camera. The explosions, the lava, and the atmosphere. Doesn't it look so fascinating yet calm at the same time, being so deep below the surface? The deep-sea dragonfish is a fascinating creature that inhabits the depths of the ocean, up to 16,404 feet below the surface. And just like its name, the fish is truly a terrifying dragon lurking in the deep water. Its unique appearance is characterized by long needle-like teeth, a long barbel protruding from its chin, and bioluminescent photophores along its body. Despite its fierce appearance, the dragonfish is a small creature, usually only growing up to 30 centimeters in length. It is also able to survive the immense pressure and freezing temperatures of the deep sea, making it a true survivor in one of the harshest environments on Earth. Pillow lava is a type of underwater volcanic rock formation that is formed when lava is erupted underwater. These unique formations are characterized by their distinct pillow-like shape, caused by the cooling and solidification of the lava as it comes into contact with the water. Pillow lavas are typically found on the ocean floor, often near mid-ocean spreading centers or subduction zones. They're also a key indicator of past underwater volcanic activity. These formations are also known to provide habitat for a variety of deep-sea creatures, and are of great interest to geologists for their insights into Earth's volcanic history. The snailfish is a cute, small, translucent creature that can be found at depths of up to 26,800 feet in the Mariana Trench. They have a slimy, scaleless body that allows them to slip through tight crevices in search of food. Their eyes are large in proportion to their body, allowing them to see in the darkness of the deep sea. They're also able to survive in the deep sea because of their ability to produce an antifreeze-like substance in their blood, which allows them to survive in the freezing waters. These little creatures may not be the most glamorous deep-sea dwellers, but they are certainly one of the most adaptable and the cutest. What do you guys think? The hatchetfish is a unique and fascinating deep-sea creature, known for its bioluminescent capabilities and distinctive elongated body shape. These small fish, which can grow up to 7 centimeters in length, have large eyes and silvery scales that help them blend in with the sunlight filtering down from the surface. But perhaps their most striking feature is the bioluminescent organ located on their bellies, which they use to attract prey and communicate with other hatchetfish. They also have an ability to control the amount of light they emit, making them great survivors in the deep sea. The USS Johnson shipwreck located in the Mariana Trench is known to be the deepest shipwreck ever discovered. This ship was a destroyer that was commissioned during World War II and was sunk during the Battle of Samar in 1944. The wreck was not discovered until 2019, when a team of researchers used a remotely operated vehicle to explore the depths of the trench. Despite the extreme pressure and darkness of the trench, the ship is surprisingly well preserved, with much of its structure and equipment still intact. The Dumbo octopus, also known as a Grippoteuthis, is a unique deep-sea creature that is named after the Disney character Dumbo due to its large ear-like fins. These octopuses are found at depths of up to 22,965 feet and are known for their distinctive webbed fins that allow them to swim gracefully through the water. They also have a set of retractable tentacles that they use to capture prey. Despite their small size, they're able to survive the extreme pressure and cold temperatures of the deep sea by producing antifreeze proteins in their blood. These fascinating creatures are rarely seen by humans, making them one of the most elusive and mysterious deep-sea inhabitants. The frilled shark, also known as a living fossil, is a deep-sea creature that has remained largely unchanged for over 80 million years. It is known for its eel-like body, elongated head, and, as its name suggests, frilly gills. It has been caught at depths of up to 5,000 feet and can grow up to 6 feet in length. Its diet consists mainly of squid and other small fish, and ancient origins have made it a fascinating subject of study for marine biologists. These worms are small, measuring only about 2 centimeters in length, but they have a unique and distinctive appearance. They have a long, thin body with tentacle-like appendages and a bulbous head. Despite their small size, they are top predators in their deep-sea habitat and feed on small crustaceans. They are known to be found at depths of up to 23,622 feet and were discovered in 2007. Their body structure is still not fully understood, and more research is needed to understand their biology and behavior. The Yeti crab, also known as the hairy crab, is a unique deep-sea creature known for its dense fur-like setae covering its body. These crabs are typically found in hydrothermal vents along the Pacific Antarctic Ridge, and have been known to thrive in the intense heat and acidic waters of these areas. They're also capable of chemosynthesis, the process of obtaining energy from chemicals, allowing them to survive in the nutrient-poor deep sea. Their hairy appendages are thought to help the crabs gather bacteria for food, and also potentially protect them from the harsh environment. The coffin fish, also known as the Dactyleptina orientalis, is a deep-sea creature that is found in the abyssal and hadal zones of the ocean. This fish is characterized by its long, slender body and large fins that resemble a coffin. Its body is covered in scales, and its fins are lined with venomous spines. The coffin fish is a master of disguise and can change its color and texture to blend with its surroundings. This allows it to avoid predators and surprise its prey. Despite its venomous spines, it is not considered dangerous to humans. Its diet mainly consists of small crustaceans, fish, and worms. These are geological formations found on the ocean floor. Formed by the release of hot, mineral-rich fluids from the Earth's crust into the ocean, these chimneys look like a coal castle deep in the ocean. They can reach temperatures of up to 700 degrees Fahrenheit and are typically found in areas where tectonic plates are spreading apart. The minerals in the fluid solidify as they come into contact with the cold seawater, forming the chimneys. These chimneys are also home to unique and diverse ecosystems, including giant tube worms, crabs, and shrimp. Deep beneath the ocean's surface, a creature unlike any other has been discovered. The giant amoeba, measuring in at a staggering 2 millimeters in length, is a single-celled organism that defies the imagination. This amoeba is also known to have a high resistance to high pressure and extreme temperatures, making it capable of surviving in some of the most inhospitable environments on Earth. The discovery of this giant amoeba is a testament to the diversity and resilience of life on our planet, and serves as a reminder that there is still so much we have yet to discover in the vast and mysterious depths of the ocean. Well, that's all for today, guys. Thank you for watching the video.